back. Y'all see the title. Black Panther 3. one IP, two fandoms. Yeah, I chose them words specifically. Because it ain't about the character. That ain't. Before we begin, like, share, subscribe. You like, leave a comment. You don't like, leave a constructive comment. Constructive. I don't. If we're going to struggle with what that word means, you know, let's go ahead and take the time to see what that word means before we jump on in this thing. Because I know some folks. What's going on? Yeah. Harama Fall, we back. We back. Let's do our dear because I'm open to constructive criticism. Maybe that other stuff. Also, I've been reading comments, and I want to make sure my narrative doesn't get hijacked for somebody else's. This isn't me saying what anybody needs to be doing with their life, but I want to make sure we understand what I'm doing with mine. I'm not FBA. I'm not foundational Black American. No, that's not me. I don't subscribe to that philosophy. I don't. Now, that has nothing to do with me being a Black Panther fan. Right? That has nothing to do with me being pro-Black. I just don't divide. I don't subtract. I don't do any of that. And I understand some folks feel like they need to do it because others have done it. And when I say others, the whole what's good for the goose is good for the gander mindset. Well, if some Africans will do it, I'm an African American, I'm gonna do it too. I wasn't raised to throw stone for stone. No, I wasn't raised to throw stone for stone. So I just wanted to clear that up. Not judging, safe space. Safe space. You can be. I am not. And so as I wouldn't go onto your platform trying to push a narrative, my own thoughts and beliefs, right? Don't do that over here. This is my brand. Not to be confused with anybody else's brand. This is my brand. And the thoughts and views, opinions of this channel are right here with this channel. Any similar opinions thrown out there by anybody else that ain't my brother D-Real, that's them. That's them. I'm speaking for me, Gerald Theophilus Butler. And Gerald Theophilus Butler, aside from the melanin in his skin, I'm just gonna say I'm not FBA. Can we not bring FBA over here? This is a comic book channel, Black Panther channel. Can we keep the FBA, the non-FBA stuff over there? If you don't mind, please and thank you. Right. That said though, because I don't think I need to stay on that all day. No, because that ain't what this video is about. This video is about Black Panther, the IP. Not to be confused with the character. I know, that's crazy. That's crazy. That we get here. Anyway, we got two fandoms. I don't know if you've noticed that, but we got two fandoms. We do. I don't know how you feel about that, but we got two fandoms. We do. And the thing is that while I'm still seeing folks arguing about the fandoms, you don't need to. I do consider myself FBA, but I wouldn't expect anyone to subscribe to my way of thinking. I'm fully aware everyone bring that up in this argument though. So yeah, and much respect, Harama. Much respect. Cause me and you, we you feel what I'm saying? Like, we don't, yeah. Because here's the thing that I think, I'm gonna say it like this, and one day folks gonna get it. There's an African in this world that understands your plight as an African American. That African will call you his brother and will treat you like his brother. Now, is that African the exception to the rule? Or is that African pretty much how it goes down? because I keep hearing folks say this, what Africans say about Americans, African Americans. But I'm asking myself, have you actually engaged with an African American? I'm sorry, have you actually sat down and had a conversation with an African? I have, on more than one occasion. On more than one occasion. But just based on my life experiences, do you know, just based on my life experiences and my location, you know how we talk about proximity crimes and everything like that? Do you know who has done me worse than any other ethnic group, race? Right, it's somebody look like me. The woman that cheated on me. Oh Lord, we finding everything. And keep it here. The woman that cheated on me, she looked like me. She did. She did. The first dude to call me the N-word, it was an African American. I ain't even gonna act like that. I'm not gonna act like that. Folks that have stolen from me, yeah, African Americans. Now, I have gotten hustled in my day. I remember when I went to Camp Pendleton, Camp Del Mar, California. Right, I got hustled. Sure did. One of them gangs where they be like, see where you can find it at? That was a black person that did that. Now, don't get me wrong. Black Americans ain't the only one that didn't hustle me. Oh, no. Indians, Israelis, whatever we want to call them, stay across the water, right? Got them accents. Yeah, got your boy for like $300 back in the day. Sure did. I just don't want folks thinking it's specific to one demographic to the point where I got to subdivide. Because here's my mind. I ain't seen a foundational white person yet. And my wisdom, my age allows me experiences that we know how the Italian mafia got set up in America. You would come from Italy as an immigrant. The American Italian American that was born right here would set up shop for you to come over here, and y'all would be moving like one big family. That dude, you coming over here from Italy, the dude that was born in America, an Italian American, can actually be a made man in the mafia. Like, they ain't nobody else doing that. And so I don't know how to do that, but if you like it, I love it. See what I just said? If you like it, I love it. Because here's what I understand, and this is the sad part. This is the quiet part I'm going to say out loud. When the racists pull you over in the car, you can have 3 FBAs, 3 Africans. When he say, get out the car, he's talking to all y'all. He's talking to all y'all. I wish you would stay in the car. Talking about I ain't African. I said, get out the car. I wish you would try to act like I ain't with them. Nigga, get out the car. That's the same rationality I use with us as Americans. You think anybody, you think the enemy give 2 damns about you being this race or that race? You're an American. You can get it too. You can get it too. You can get it. I want to tell you, they was trying to take out all the American pilots. All of them. Now, if you got the ground, you might get treated differently, but up in the air, everybody fair game. Everybody fair game. Everybody fair game. I don't even think them folks over there talking about we in the straits. I don't think they asking who on the boat. Hey, who all y'all got on the boat? Y'all got any of us on the boat? Y'all got any other people of color on the boat? If y'all do, go ahead and let them off. We gonna blow y'all up, but we gonna blow y'all up when they get off the boat. They not having no conversations. Truth be told, even in America, if we go over American history, if they caught you could be white in the car with a freedom rider who was black. You could be white. You could be. You know who did not care? The person who was opposed to black people voting. They ain't care at all. You both got it. We actually have history. Like we have history with that. So I just want to clear that up and everything like that. I don't do that. You can, but I don't want this channel. Don't do that here. We can talk about the actors. We can talk about the characters. We can talk about the IP. We can talk about the entertainment company. And you know what? We never have to broach that topic at all. We don't. We can stay right there. Because here's the damnest thing. Crazy how we could all be Black Panther fans. Just think about that for a second. You see how me and Harama ball out? We both Black Panther fans. We swap stories. We talk about some T'Challa stuff. we talk about some Black Panther stuff, some Dora Milaje stuff. We be nerding out. We be nerding out. We do. Be having fun too. And that's what I want to get back to. The fun of it. I don't know how we having fun out here calling each other out our names and stuff like that. I don't think you can have fun like that. I don't unless you know you different. You different. Harama, what's going on? Did you get that email I sent you? I did, big dog, but you see me, man, I'm moving and everything like that. I got folks want me to work with them, and I'm trying to get to the point where I'm settled. But I do got the email. Look for me jumping on it. If not tomorrow, Monday, just trying to make, because this was a hectic week. Actually, this ain't been no hectic week. That's me lying. It's been a hectic past few months. Some of y'all know what I've been going through, but me having a YouTube channel and TikTok has actually been therapeutic over the past few months. So what you say? You see me trying to do this thing with the phone. Let me see. Man, bro. I'm trying. But shout out to the Rock With Me Nation on both TikTok and YouTube. Y'all been keeping me focused. So thank y'all for that. But the topic today, Black Panther 3. This been a long week, ain't it? I'm praying everything work out for you. Man, I appreciate it, man. And the prayers that you've already sent this way have been answered. So thank you. Continue to send those prayers, man. Continue to send those prayers. I got my cup of coffee. Shout out to Plant Poppy. Came across him the other day, man. Glad to know you still here, bro. Oh, Lord Jesus. We gonna keep trying. I don't know what we gonna do here. We gonna try and hold on. I think I got something. Because we just need to keep the phone from falling. Amen. We need to. Okay, well, we gonna pray and get right there. But it's been a long week if you're a Black Panther fan. Like I said, I thought this would have been I thought we would have been excited as a bunch of bed bugs last Friday, but that ain't what that is. But it's something else that I've noticed here. And I'm a Black Panther comic book fan, and I'm only going to engage other Black Panther comic book fans. I'm not going to. I ain't got to. If somebody want to know some comic book stuff, we'll talk about it. But that over there yonder, I'm gonna leave that right on over there, because this ain't got nothing to do with me. I have noticed some stuff though. Clearly, Black Panther fans are looking at the comics. Clearly, Black Panther MCU fans, and I think everybody just has to be honest with one another. And I think more need to be honest. Like, it's okay to say you only care about Black Panther in the MCU. That's fair. But it's also fair for somebody to prefer Black Panther comic books. What's not fair is to throw the expectations of one onto the other. And I see that taking place. I see that taking place. It doesn't have to. It doesn't have to. But I do want to speak on some things. So that maybe we can have a better idea of why we are where we are. As I said earlier, 2026 is T'Challa's 60th anniversary as the Black Panther. That means 60 years he's being celebrated. For 60 years, from 1966 to 2026, he's being celebrated as the Black Panther of Marvel Comics. Nobody else comes close to that record. No, nobody else. Now, you would like to think that every Black Panther fan, regardless of whether that's a T'Challa fan, a Shuri fan, or a Toussaint fan, could get behind that and celebrate that. That's not true. That's not true. That's a wild moment for me, because if you're a Black Panther fan, regardless of whether it's MCU or comics, I would like to think that would be something that we all could rally behind. That's not true. That's not true. It don't have to be true, because it's the comic book characters' 60th anniversary. It ain't the movie characters' 60th anniversary. It's the comic book character's 60th anniversary. But we need to be mindful of something as well. The character whose 60th anniversary it is T'Challa's. It's T'Challa's. It's not Shuri. It's not Toussaint. It's T'Challa. You don't care. That's fine. That's fine. But there are mixed signals being sent that I see. You see them too. Whether you are an MCU fan or whether you are a comic book fan, I'm going to tell you, for mine, it's the lack of consistency for me. It's the lack of consistency. It's confusing, because the only reason why we said Shuri in the MCU was going to become Black Panther so fast was because Chadwick Boseman passed away. That was the justification. That was the reasoning. That was the logic. Every Black Panther comic book fan, while they don't agree with that, they know Shuri does become the Black Panther in the comic books. They also know Shuri has her own stories in the comic books. They know this. So when Shuri... You say, hold on?
Go ahead, babe. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm trying to tell you.
That's the family. We back. We back.
Yeah, we got stuck in the elevator.
Yes.
We did, for real.
Oh,
We
they
just
got-
got stuck in the
Okay, they got stuck in the elevator. I mean, stuff happened.
We
Stuff
got
happened.
out though. We got out.
They got. So, yeah, I know. Yeah, that's the family. It's a family affair. Anyway, so comic book fans, we like lore, we like legacy, we like consistency. Mind you, even though comic book fans were in their feelings because they did not get all of the T'Challa, even the greatest T'Challa stories told on screen, we know Shuri has been the Black Panther. We know Shuri has got some stories out there as Black Panther. We know that. So the confusing thing is you get to the part where, well, Shuri has to be the Black Panther now because the actor passed away. Okay, we might not agree with that. We might like that, but we know the character has some stories of her own. Then you get another announcement. Toussaint doesn't exist in the comics. I know, I understand, I get it. He don't have to for the MCU. But he don't exist in the comics. Thus, he does not have his own stories, unlike T'Challa and Shuri. And so from on the peripheral, just on the peripheral, like side eye, comic book fans are asking themselves, whose stories is he going to get? Shuri, because this is where the comic book knowledge comes from, Shuri did take on Namor in the comic books. But she took on Namor not because he deleted her mama, but because she felt like he tried to delete her brother. So that fight takes place. It doesn't necessarily take place the way they did it in the movies, But that fight takes place. That's not T'Challa's story. He was supposed to be in it, but he wasn't there. Right? Well, whose stories are they going to use for Toussaint? Black Panther comic book fans, who it's the stories that make the character special. It's each character's individual journey that makes them special. Shorty's journey isn't T'Challa's. T'Challa's journey isn't Shorty. Honestly, T'Challa's journey, based on the small amount of information we know, isn't T'Chaka's journey. T'Chaka's journey, based on the small amount of information we know, is not Uzuri's journey. It's different. Each Panther has done something unique to contribute to the lore, the legacy of Black Panther. Folks keep saying it's a mantle. You don't think about what you're saying when you say that. Well, Black Panther comic book fans want Toussaint to have his own story. That's not a knock against Toussaint. They want for Toussaint what other characters have gotten that made their way eventually from one medium to another. They want Toussaint to be great. He don't get great repeating T'Challa's stories. He don't get great during Shorty's story. Me, I'm having a wild moment. Because I'm saying to myself, Marvel is known as the house of ideas. We just got said what transpired last Saturday was what? From the house of H house, Hall of H or whatever. There are writers, executives, showrunners. You mean to tell me nobody over there can come up with an original, compelling story for this character, that they got to use the sloppy seconds that came from other characters? If you fought that hard for Shorty, and I'm talking to the MCU fan, if you fought that hard for Shorty to be a Black Panther, you should want her to be her own Black Panther. If you're going to go to the hilt for Toussaint, and you should want him to stand on his own. Do you think about how you sound to just a regular person when you say you don't care whose stories Toussaint is telling, as long as you get the stories? You'll never make that statement about Bruce Wayne. You'll never make that statement about Clark Kent. You'll never make that statement about Peter Parker. I want you to think about that. And comic book fans know it. You're a general audience member. We're used to going to the movies with you. We are. We saw how you ran up to John Wick, how you loved on John Wick and everything like that. You didn't do that for the ballerina. No, you was all on John Wick. We even considered bringing John out of retirement because we love John Wick so much. Okay. I'm not telling you you can't have Toussaint. But do you really want Toussaint, but it's somebody else's stories? Because the quiet part being asked out loud is, if you want Toussaint, but it's just going to be T'Challa's stories, why we just didn't recast T'Challa? The sillier question is this: why do we feel the need to age up Toussaint? What for? No, for real. Think about this question. Why are we aging up Toussaint? Oh, isn't Shorty going to be in Doomsday? Might she also be in Secret Wars? Okay, well, make it make sense to me. Why do we need to age up Toussaint? Why can't Shorty have her full story arc? Like, I'm sitting up here looking. I ain't got to like it. Remember, I'm a comic book fan. But why isn't Letitia Wright getting 2 additional movies? No. What's the incentive to age him up? What's the motivation? Why is there a need to age him up? We ain't really got Shorty yet as the Black Panther. So why? You see how I'm doing this? Because as Black Panther comic book fans, all we care about is consistency. Okay, you want to say the actor passed away, and that's why she finna get the mantle earlier. Because at some point, even if Chadwick Boseman doesn't pass away, she's still supposed to get the mantle. At some point, Chadwick Boseman could be walking around here alive and well, kicking the bobo right now. He was supposed to get 3 movies. Then Letitia Wright was supposed to get her 3. Okay, well, Chadwick then passed away. Why are we aging up Tucson again? What's the motivation? I need this to make sense like I'm in the 3rd grade. Because as I said to somebody else, I'm a Shorty fan as well. I ain't finna act like that, but I'm also a T'Challa fan. Why are we aging up to? Why are we replacing Shorty so fast? What's wrong with Shorty that she got to be replaced? Just make it make sense. What's wrong? Because we knew what was wrong over here. The actor passed away. I looked at Letitia Wright. She looked healthy. Now you know me. I prefer if she, but I ain't saying. I'm just saying like. But you know me, right? But other than that, she looked healthy. How long they hug? 10 seconds? You can't hug no deceased person for 10 seconds. You can't. So why she get replaced? I'm going to keep up with these notes because I don't think y'all done gave me an answer yet. I see Harama up in here. I see 12 people up in here. You see how I'm not knocking no fan bases, no nothing. I just want to know why we in such a hurry. What's going on, Buckmeister? Why are we in such a hurry for her to be replaced? If we got to replace her and age him up real fast, we're admitting we made a mistake. If we're going to tell his stories, T'Challa stories, through Toussaint, we're admitting the Black Panther franchise don't work without T'Challa. Yeah, you can put Junior in there, but then that's culturally incorrect. And that's the other thing. You're an MCU fan. You know what Afrofuturism look like. You respect everybody else's culture when you go to the movies. You don't care about this either. What do you care about when it comes to Black Panther? And I think that's another question, because I know you care about Black Panther, but I'm confused. If you are an MCU fan, exactly what you care about when it comes to Black Panther. Because what I do know is this: you're not pressed about T'Challa. You're not pressed about his accomplishments. You're not pressed about them action figures. You're not, and that's fair. You're pressed about the stories. You pressed about the MCU, but what specifically about the MCU when it comes to Black Panther? Notice I didn't say T'Challa, because that ain't where your loyalties lie. I didn't say Shorty. That's not where your loyalties lie. I'm not going to say Toussaint, because I'm of the belief they could come out today or tomorrow and say that dude, David, was going to be playing another character. David could come out tomorrow and cancel. And Ryan say he was going to put somebody else in it, and y'all would run along with it. So I want to know, what is it about the Black Panther IP that you like as an MCU fan? Because it ain't looking consistent. It ain't looking consistent. Clark gonna always be with Lois. I'm looking at grown men, grown women who've had children, literally saying the son is the father. So you're saying you just want T'Challa stories without T'Challa. If you named your son after you, is your son you? If you named your daughter after you, is your daughter you? Because you're saying you okay with some stuff. And you can be. I'm just asking some logical questions, because y'all say stuff like that on social media. The son is the father. So is your son you, and can your son go smash your wife, his mama? Or go smash your ex from back in high school that would be old enough to be his mama? And they go off and live in a loving relationship, and she be able to tell people she finally got her man. Let's say your name John. She date John Jr. Her and John Jr. go off, get married. She get pregnant from John. And she gonna tell people, I finally got my high school sweetheart. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? You're an MCU fan and you're literally contemplating Toussaint being with Aurora. So are you really an X-Men 97 fan? Are you really a Storm fan? Like, see, we can ask these questions. Or are you just an MCU fan? Because at that point, you're not even a Storm fan. Not from the comic books. Not you are a Storm MCU fan. It ain't got nothing to do with the comic books. But you're going to get everybody else's character having everything to do with the comic books. You're going to get Jean loving up on Scott, Scott loving up on Jean. Here come Logan. You already got Clark over there in James Gunn's Superman. After the boss battle, him and Lois go into the mall, start kissing and floating up in the air. How many Superman movies you got? You even got the dog. I don't know how anybody that went to a Superman movie that knew who the dog was. That knew who the dog was. You knew who the dog was. You asked questions because you knew who the dog was. That's the damnest thing to me. You know who the dog is, whether you read comic books or not. Some of y'all even ask questions. Why is that Kara's dog? That ain't Kara's dog. That's Cal's dog. So you even knew without picking up a comic book that Crypto did not belong to that damn girl. You knew it. But Black Panther, Lordo, you will accept any and everything. And as a comic book fan, I'm perfectly fine with that. I'm going to be good talking to my fellow comic book fans. You're not going to frustrate me. Y'all called me all out my name this week, and all I was trying to do was share Black Panther knowledge. Oh, you won't do that again. you won't get that opportunity again. No, watch this. What I will do is I will take my behind back across 8 Mile and kick the bobo with my comic book friends. My comic book friends that whether they FBA or not, they comic book fan. Whether they white, black, Jew, Gentile, heterosexual, gay, LGBT, they comic book fan. I'm gonna go over there and kick the bobo with them so I can keep my peace of mind. I'm not coming back over here. I'm never coming back over. I know never is a long time, but I'm not coming back over here. No, but I'm not gonna say they don't care about Black Panther. I'm not gonna say that because clearly they passionate about something related to Black Panther. They are. I'm of the mindset they care about the name and the appearance of Black Panther, but the specifics, no. And they would have to show me different, right? Like I said, you can tell me why you finna put Shorty as Black Panther because the actor passed away. I think that's a bunch of horse manure. So be it. But there's no reason for her not to be the Black Panther right now. Where's her power story? Because Shorty actually does have an arch nemesis. She's got one. It ain't little more. Shorty does have an arch nemesis. Where you at though? I'm sorry. Where is she at though? She actually showed up, I think, in the last issue of Wakanda, right? Her and Okoye got into it. Where's Shorty's arch nemesis at? Now, see, I know she got one. But now, who is finna be Toussaint's arch nemesis? What his story is finna be? I'm gonna keep up with these notes and I'm gonna come back. Yeah, like I said, man, I'm trying. Appreciate the prayer. We're gonna have to get you a laptop or something. I know, man. I'm trying. Never mind. Nobody was against Shorty being BP. We specifically said not to kill off the character. Facts. That's all we said. Horoma is absolutely right. That's all we said. And if Brian O'Connor can get sent home to his wife and kids, I don't want folks acting like we don't know what we were saying. You not finna make us feel like we stupid. No, you went to go see the Fast and the Furious movie, and ain't none of y'all ever took to social media to say, no, that was wrong. Brian should have been deleted. But over here, though. Over here. What's going on? On that part, the cognitive dissonance deed, I'm not going to call it that, used to justify everything but a recast should be studied. All I know is I got 3 examples in front of me. I got Christopher Reeve, Paul Walker, and William Hurt. And all I keep hearing is, oh, that's different. Guess it's gonna always be different, huh? Now the thing is not knowing who's saying it, because in social media, you can have people hiding behind a profile while pushing a completely false narrative. They know a narrative to be disingenuous and everything. I would just like to think that those of us that are Superman fans wouldn't fall for that. Those of us that remember the handoff from Christopher Reeve to Brandon Routh wouldn't go for that. I would like to think that those of us that are Fast and the Furious fans wouldn't go for that. I would like to think that those of us that are MCU fans wouldn't go for that. I would definitely like to think that those that went to go see Captain America 4 wouldn't go for that. But in thinking, I would be wrong. And I know I would. But that's not consistent. There's quite a bit of hypocrisy in that. And the damnedest thing is, like, people not being able to process that. That's crazy to me. Now, as T'Challa fans, we only care about having a male wearing the mantle. But why then are we vehemently against Toussaint as well? It's one of them things. Well, I'm glad to say we got Wakanda. Okay, we back. We back. I thought we had some stuff going on. We back. I don't know what was going on with the internet. Internet was acting kind of funky. Let me see. Buckmeister said he made it. Brother Meister in the building. Toussaint need to get his own story. I would like to think so. I wonder if they also wanted to be the new king of Wakanda by aging him up. Yeah. He gonna have to fight M'Baku, ain't he? Because that's the king of Wakanda. That's crazy. No, they don't care about it. Same reason, no new Blade, no strong black male characters in the lead role. So now we get a Panther Cub, not a true king. That's, you know what? Stay right there, K Civic. Park that. We gonna spin the block on that. We here. Aging up Toussaint makes sense, but T'Challa can't come back. I don't know why we aging up Toussaint. Like I said, that I'm gonna ask consistent questions. If we had to replace T'Challa with Shuri because he passed away, I don't agree with that, because we know what recasting looked like. But we got it. Okay, well, there's nothing wrong with Letitia Wright. We shouldn't even be talking about Toussaint right now. We talking about a Black Panther 3, because even from a writing standpoint, I'm going to say this. Clearly, Shuri survives Doomsday. That's a world, that's a reality, cataclysmic event. That's a multiversal event. She survives it. So clearly, she's surviving Doomsday, and she's also going to survive Secret Wars. Now, I'm going to tell you when folks going to get mad. I'm hoping we don't see nothing like that. She better not pick up nothing like no Infinity Gauntlet. She better not nobody else do nothing that remind comic book fans of what, like, it don't need to be Steve and Dr. Doom fighting at the end. Buying time for Reed, it don't need to be. I'm telling you right now, you could be an MCU fan. This finna rub some folks the wrong way. If you got somebody doing anything similar to what T'Challa did in Jonathan Hickman's Secret Wars, especially that fight with Dr. Doom, because comic book fans gonna remember that nobody said anything about that Black Panther action figure with the Infinity Gauntlet being dropped last Friday. All heck is gonna break loose. But my point is this: Shuri surviving those two events. Why do we need a Toussaint? What's going on in Wakanda that she can't handle after she done been through? Hold on, she done been through Infinity War, Endgame. Her nation being invaded by Taloka. Secret Wars, Doomsday and Secret War. She been through some stuff. She vetted. What's getting ready to take place that they need him from a story standpoint? That she can't handle. I'm going to ask that question one more time. What's taking place from a story standpoint that she can't handle? Because right now, I might not like what I'm getting ready to say, but it's what I'm getting ready to say. She's more accomplished in the MCU than T'Challa as a Black Panther. So why is she getting to release, like, do you know how big of an issue that's got to be going on in Wakanda? Which, huh?
Your daughter didn't jump in the pool. I had to come get the towel.
Okay. Do you know what's got to be going on? Like, what's the event that causes her to yield the mantle? I done seen her clip Namor's wings. I ain't trying to hear this. I saw M'Baku pretty much not even want to get into a fight with her. He said, they did that right there. He didn't even want that smoke. He didn't. He didn't. And I'm pretty sure she finna do some amazing stuff in these next two movies. Okay, well, what's the big deal? What's the big problem in Wakanda where she got to see the mantle? Boy, look here. I'm just gonna ask them questions. No, I'm just gonna ask them questions right there. Why she getting, what's getting ready to take place? She can't handle it. That's what I'm asking. What is the story? What's the threat that she can't handle it? Because she been handling a lot. We're not gonna act like that. She has. She had. Now, mind you, I ain't got no dog in this fight. Because I'm a comic book fan. I ain't got no dog in this fight. I don't. I'm a comic book fan. I got Black Panther. I got T'Challa and Shorty. I ain't got to choose. I got T'Challa and Shorty at my house. I got T'Chaka and the Queen Mother Ramunda, and I got Bass. I got the Midnight Angels, the subset of the Dora. I even got the Hatuts that I was at. I got Taku. Yeah. I got Venom, Horatio Walters. Yeah. I ain't got to do none of this. Watch this. T'Challa and Aurora are actually a couple. Not Toussaint and Aurora, but T'Challa and Aurora are actually a couple. In my house, I ain't got a heart-shaped herb. Because in Wakanda, we got synthetic heart-shaped herb. Well, in my house, we got crochet heart-shaped herb. Either way, we got it at the house. We got it at the house. Right now, it's in storage, but we got it at the house. I ain't got nothing to do with this. Let me see here. But my say side note, all my Black Panther versus Super Skrull fan animation just hit 15K. I'll make it myself. Can't get mad. Fan fiction. He know the lore. You can either rock with it or not. You can, but can't be mad. Just like we not mad about what's going on in the MCU. And that's the other thing. I want to stress this. Let's stop being mad about what's going on in the MCU. The MCU is not the comic books. And we're comic book fans. So, but, and I know this sounds, let folk be great. Let folk be great. What I can tell you, there are groups of people that respect folks knowing comic book lore. There are people that don't respect people knowing comic book lore. I can tell you from what I do on TikTok, there are tons of people that respect brothers and sisters that know the comics. Just like there are going to be people that are jealous, envious of you knowing the comics. Well, intelligence is respected. Intelligence is respected. And here's the thing. You can be on social media going back and forth with somebody. Folks looking from afar are going to realize one thing off the rip. One knows what they're talking about, the other one doesn't. But the longer you keep going back and forth, they're going to wonder why the intelligent person is going back and forth with somebody who's shown them they don't care. As E-Man said before, I took it and ran with it. If you want to kill a person's legacy, stop telling their story. We can't tell T'Challa's story simultaneously arguing with folks who don't give two damns about T'Challa. Let's just tell their stories. Let them be great over there in the MCU. You know what I find funny, ironic, if you will, right now about the MCU is that Black Panther fans, comic book fans, told them that the black characters were being disrespected a long time ago in the MCU. They never checked for it. So now they want to complain. The thing is, they don't even know what they're complaining about. Watch where I go with this one. Seeing black folk, let me say right here, seeing O'Shea Duke Jackson, who voted for Donald Trump's not once, not twice, but 3 times, try and throw shade on a black MAGA supporter who's upset. Because I'll be trying to figure out what we be upset about because I don't think we think about us. So I'm just going to throw it out there. A gay black male Trump supporter. Like I would think you got your own stuff to be concerned about. He's upset that a British African, an African British, because we say African American, so it would be a African British man. An African British man got the role of a fictional African character. And all I did was just sit back and laugh. I was like, ooh, Lord Jesus, have mercy. You need me to say that again? O'Shea Duke Jackson. Right. That dude. You know he got a lot to say about everything. Right. That dude is throwing shade at a black, gay, male Trump supporter. Even though he voted for Donald 3 times his damn self, who's upset about about an African British man playing the role of an African character. We don't see how we look out there to the general audience. Do we not see how we look to the general audience? Because you know what the common thing between all 3 of them damn dudes is? They black. O'Shea Duke Jackson black. That dude that's a MAGA supporter, he black. David Johnson, black. And Tucson, the fictional character they talking about, is black. Where they from? We can have them conversations, but the unifying theme is they black. If a police officer pull all of them over in a car, say all of them in a car, and he say, get y'all black out the car, who he wasn't talking to? Who finna stay in the car and say, oh, he wasn't talking to me? Okay. Play with it if you want to. Play with it if you want to. Nobody want to listen. No. Right. So you getting what you getting. I've been see you getting what you getting and you getting it. You getting it. Now we can have a conversation talking about why you not getting it. But we've been told you wasn't going to get it. We told you why you wasn't going to get it. But you're an MCU fan. You can be. But we're comic book fans. So we know the track record. We know the history. It ain't for us to tell you. It ain't. It ain't even for me to acknowledge you and your feelings right now. You know why? Because I got Blade at the house. I got Blade at the house. I got Adam Bashir at the house. Monica Rambeau, she ain't missing. She at the house. Now, not only do I have the physical representation of the characters at the house, I also have their stories right here. I'm not thirsty. I'm not looking for Monica. I know where Monica at. I do. Yeah, I know. I know where Monica at. I'm not looking for Monica. I'm not looking for Adam. I know where Blade at. But now here's the thing. It's up to you. You either like it or you don't. This is why I'm touching my nose and staying up out of MCU business. You could have easily gotten a Blade movie. Blade comic book fans easily know Blade MCU fans could have got a movie. Blade comic book fans pointed out Blade 1 and Blade 2 because Blade comic book fans actually go to the movie theaters as well. You got a reboot of Nightmare on Elm Street. They redid Nightmare on Elm Street. They redid Texas Chainsaw Massacre. They redid Friday the 13th. You got all them damn movies again. So getting them to redo Blade 1 and Blade 2 wouldn't have been out the question. My Ali wasn't wrong. They didn't want to make the movie, but I told you they didn't want to make the movie. But you didn't know because you don't want to hear what we got to say. We told you Brian Hill's 10-issue run of Blade sat right there. Could have been adapted for the movies. And if you somebody that use AI, as AI, could that run have not been adapted easily for the movies? Easily. Could even throw them Bloodline in there. Hell, I sat right there and came up with a story in 5 minutes that would have had Bloodline in it, because clearly that's what Marvel wanted to do. Dracula in it, Blade in it, and his wife in it. And we wouldn't have had to age up Bloodline. No, she could have been coming along for the next 3 movies. We could have even got Varney. But think about them names that I just mentioned. Comic book fans know those names in ways you as an MCU fan might not know. Comic book fans will be able to tell you, hey man, you say you want a Blade movie? Yeah, it's a story out there that reads just like a Blade movie. You talking about a dude pulling up inside of a meat packing plant with headlights that put out UV rays? Yeah, he did that in the first issue. He did that in the first issue. You're not going to get it from us because you don't want it from us. You don't want it from the comics. You think you're going to get a Blade movie, and we can literally tell you, you ain't got to wait. You got that right there. But just for FYI, no, they ain't got no excuse. That's why Kevin can't hide. That's why Mahershala Ali not trying to hear that. Oh, I feel so bad I dropped the ball. No, you didn't drop the ball. You never picked it up. You never picked it up. You ain't want to do nothing with it. Do y'all not know, MCU fans, we didn't have a whole Blade-led crossover event, Blood Hunt. Comic book fans know that. What MCU fan that don't read comics can tell anybody about Blood Hunt to know that that's a Blade crossover story? Oh Lord. We don't know. You don't know because you don't read comics. You ain't gonna listen to nobody like me because we don't know what we talk about. So how do you get what you're supposed to get as black superhero fans if you're not listening to the black superhero fan that read comics? We're supposed to be working together, but we're not. My take on the situation is this. If If you're a Black Panther MCU fan, God bless you. If you're a Black Panther comic book fan, God bless you. Stay out of each other's spaces. Let folks be great. Let folks be upset. That's what it's going to be. That's what it's going to be. As I go on TikTok every day, I am amazed at the amount of knowledge when it comes to Black characters that ain't out there. Because I would have thought as many folks out there that talk about Black characters that the knowledge is real. But no, what I've come to realize is it's better to be known about talking about the Black characters than actually have any knowledge pertaining to the Black characters. That's a scary thing, because then you start getting cussed out by other Black folks. I don't want the problem. I don't. Let me see here. Like Feige is racist, but we called it when he said he never recast. Hey, I ain't gonna say that man racist. I'm just gonna say I ain't got what everybody else got. That's all I'm gonna say. I ain't got what everybody else got in the MCU. But then again, I stopped checking for the MCU because I realized I wasn't gonna get what everybody else was gonna get. For instance, why is James Rhodes still paralyzed from the waist down? Stark Tech, Vibranium. Why my dog? And nobody that's I be laughing at how MCU fans don't say nothing about that. I be like, you realize the dude been paralyzed. With Riri Williams there, Shorty there, Stark Tech, Vibranium. Buddy he's a hero. He got to be one of the leading heroes. Matter of fact, is he not showing up in Doomsday? That's crazy. That's crazy. So when Thor went to the brand new Avengers Tower, James not there? That's crazy. That's crazy. That narrative, this is from Pookie Wood, that narrative about him being British, being the issue is so annoying and weird. However, Theo, we can sort of thank the first BP movie for this. Hey, man, Killmonger was right. I can't even say that with a straight face because I'm a comic book fan. I can't say Eric was because I saw what the MCU fans were looking at. I did. But I'm sitting up here saying to myself, so if he was right, then his dad was right in getting ready to commit a bank robbery. Eric was right in stealing the vibranium in the museum. And Eric was also right in deleting all the brothers and sisters that he bragged about deleting just to get right there to T'Challa. And he was also right in deleting his woman. It's going to sound effed up when I say it. If Eric was right, so was Donald. If Eric is right, so is Donald. That sentiment right there. You know who we say Eric was right, Killmonger was right. We never say T'Challa was right. And so in your instance, to your point, when you say we can blame Black Panther, the first one for that, we could blame the first Black Panther movie for why folks are checking for everybody else except for T'Challa based on that movie. We don't talk. What lines we got from T'Challa that we throw out there as sexy like that? We don't. That he was the titular hero, and we say the villain was right. It's kind of like how folks, never mind, because ain't nobody ever gonna say Lex was right in a Superman movie. Ain't no, that dude played one of the best Lex Luthors, point blank period. I hear folks giving him accolades. I don't believe anybody saying he was justified in how he sees Superman, unless they be using woke and DEI funny. Peter Parker can create an RNA inhibitor to suppress his mutation. That's why I did the quotes. Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. Harama said Peter Parker can create an RNA inhibitor to suppress his mutation from stuff in his apartment, but Stark and Wakanda can't build something to help Rhodey walk again. We don't hear nobody asking about it though, do we? No, you ain't heard folks that's excited about Black Panther. You never hear those same folks point out other stuff. I'm thinking about doing a video one day, just acknowledging everything that we, us as Black people might have missed. Because I'm like, well, if you love the MCU so much, why you not tripping about how they treated Derek Luke in Captain America First Avenger? And they're like, Derek Luke? Who is Derek Luke? Don't do that. You saw Biker Boys. You saw Biker Boys. Well, who was Derek Luke in Captain America First Avenger? That's Gabe Brown. Well, who is Gabe Brown? You see how we got to keep doing this? Well, who is Gabe Brown? Don't do that. That's how Stark got that vibranium. Howard Stark ain't getting no vibranium without Gabe. He ain't not getting no. You would think if you say you Black, I'm a Black American, foundational Black American, African American, British African, African, Haitian, Nigerian, Jamaican. You would like to think if I just say Black character, you lock it in. No, we're not doing that. You say that's the Black character. You say the vibranium is a Black dude. Black dude got the vibranium. You don't like that? No. Dude from Bike. I don't care. We're saying, man, what you mean? And they trying to make it seem like the United States government did that for Sam. They didn't do that for Sam. T'Challa did that for Sam. You know, brother helping the brother out. Ain't that big of a deal to me. If I didn't know when to tap out, I knew when to tap out now. The fact that you can tell a Black MCU fan that T'Challa is responsible for, and they don't get mad. What you think about that? Because we can get excited about Superman fighting Doom. Yeah, we're going to get excited about that one. We're going to get excited about that one. The movie, the cartoon, when it finally came out, DC, when Superman got tricked by the Joker and everything like that, they didn't play around with that. They did not. Now, we was asking questions why we get Mr. Terrific's part fleshed out like it's supposed to. Ain't nobody caring about all that. Nobody care nothing about all that. So you're gonna get what you want. Hopefully you like it, but I'm not gonna get involved. Ain't no dog, and I ain't got no dog in the fight. I do respect canon, whether it's in comics or whether it's in the live action or whether it's in the animation. I like stuff that makes sense. I don't know why we gotta age up Shorty. I'm gonna say age up Toussaint. If we got to age up Toussaint to the point where he's going to replace Shorty in the third Black Panther movie, then we're admitting we did something wrong with deleting the male protagonist, T'Challa. Okay, well, folks keep saying T'Challa got deleted. I don't know what to tell folks. Characters get brought back from the dead all the time in fiction. They do. Not trying to cheapen the moment or anything like that, but even his older brother, Derek Boseman, said the character shouldn't be being deleted. So who is it disrespectful to at this particular point in time? Because I got questions on the table. One, if we wanted to make Shorty the Black Panther, why are we aging up Toussaint? She got her own stories out there still left to tell. If we know, feeling like we made a mistake, which is why we bringing in his son, right? Okay, why not just recast the character? You've seen characters in fiction get recast before. Don't say it cheapens it, because if the family is okay with it, I'm not talking about the cast. I'm not talking about somebody he didn't meet until 2016. I'm talking about folks he knew his whole life. If they don't have a problem with it, then what is the problem with recasting the character? You didn't get that attached to T'Challa because you don't know that much about T'Challa. We can tell by the comments that you're putting out there. You don't know that much about T'Challa. You don't care that much about T'Challa. So I want us to think about that for a second. Is it that we don't care that much about that character? We have been so turned off by that character that we will accept anybody in place of that character while they still tell that character stories. Because that's what we're looking at. That's what we're looking at. I don't expect to see Clark's stories told via John Kent. I don't ever expect to see Bruce's stories told via Damien. We ain't even getting Peter's stories told via Miles. So I don't know whenever I would be excited to get another character's stories told through somebody else. Isn't that a lie? Isn't that a lie? Doesn't that speak to my inability to come up, create my own original stories? Isn't that what that really speaks to? I've created a brand new character, but I have no stories for this character. No traditions for this character. No arcs for this character. I just got the character. All right. You like it. I love it. I don't think so. But long story short, you got a right to be the fan that you want to be. You want to be the MCU fan? God bless you. You want to be the comic book fan? God bless you. Own it. Own it. Don't be mad about it. Own it. You are that fan. Don't let nobody play with your fandom. Don't let nobody disrespect your fandom. In essence, if the Black Panther IP is your favorite IP in the MCU, notice I'm not picking one of them, then you should want consistency with your favorite IP. You should want your favorite IP to get the same amount of respect as everybody else's IP. The question you have to ask yourself is, are you getting it? It ain't a question for me to answer. It ain't. My loyalties lie in the comics, and I can tell you how we get down in the comics. Pressure bust pipes. We pressure bust pipes. We be on social media. We'll pull up if you got a social media account. It don't matter if you the EIC, if you the writer. No. You're going to get them characters right in the comments because we the ones paying for them. We are. And quite a few of us been knowing them characters longer than some of these writers been living. So we move differently in the comics. We move differently. You better ask folks. We move differently in the comics. It's how we keep the comics. It's how we keep the comics. It's how we keep the consistency. It's how we regulate stuff. It might not move. It might not move the way we wanted to move as fast as we wanted to move. But in the comics, we move differently. We get writers fired. At some point, we will get the editor-in-chief up out of there. Yes, we will. Yes, we will. We will get stuff canceled quick. Don't put that out. Don't put that out. But we have action figures to go along with our stuff as well. Because if they don't know anything else, they know how much we care about the characters. And so we get stuff in regards to the stories that we read about these characters. Getting that Black Panther action figure with the Infinity Gauntlet. Chef's kiss. That's the difference. You know when the last time you got a Black Panther MCU figure? It was Shorty. It was an undersized Black Panther action figure. They didn't give her much in regards to accessories. Didn't even give her an unmasked head sculpt. You know who complained about that? The comic book fans. You know who didn't care about that character action figure at all? The MCU fans. That's not how you get that character being special. So you'll get a Black Panther action figure. Toussaint. I don't all know who's gonna buy it. Because those who buy it, he won't be Toussaint in their home. He might be Scion, T'Chaka's younger brother. He might show up as Azari. Because folks that's got the action figures, They ain't got Nakia coupled up with T'Challa. No, they got Aurora coupled up with T'Challa. So if folks feel pressed to buy that action figure when it drops, it won't be Toussaint. It won't be. They won't even acknowledge him as that. They will acknowledge him pretty much as the child he should have been, Ozari. But if they not doing that, who gonna buy that action figure? MCU figures don't get bought like comic book based Marvel Legends get bought. So as the MCU fan, you would need to show up for that. Okay, well, how many action figures we think they're gonna release of David Johnson as the Black Panther? 1. You think anybody gonna be concerned about the uncostumed look? You know who would buy the uncostumed look to add to their Civilians of Wakanda diorama set? Because black action figures don't pop up like that. It would be the Black Panther comic book fan. I ain't saying, I'm just saying. Listen them out. Y'all showed up and showed out. Y'all see we moving and stuff like that. Harama Fall says Photon is canonically more powerful than Nova, Captain Marvel, and Binary. But are we? No, we not. We not. No. And good looking. Because I've been saying for the longest, but this is how we know how this go. I've been saying for the longest time, we should have been upset that Carol Danvers showed up as the first female Captain Marvel in the MCU. But I have heard from quite a few of us, even those that are credited as being comic book experts, say that Monica was irrelevant and did nothing special during her tenure as Captain Marvel. And I was like, damn, with your whole chest. With your whole chest. You don't see, same person. You see no relevance in Frank Rambo either. You like, damn, with your whole chest. If we don't care about the details, they don't either. And I'm sorry, it's a little too late to trying to call yourself be caring about the details. You did not care about the details when they put them out there. And as I say on my channel, if you let them screw over the fictional version of you, then they ain't gonna have no problem stepping on the real version of you. And there were too many of us, which is why me and my brother Daryl out here right now. There were too many of us sleep at the wheel when the MCU first got started. James Rose is 6'1", 240. James Rose is 6'1", 240. You low-key was supposed to get Michael Jai White or somebody built like Michael Jai White as James Rose. But who said so? You either got Terrence Howard or Don Cheadle. And you looking at Don Cheadle in Iron Man 3 without any armor on, and you like, Lord, they gonna wind up hurting him. You ain't worried about them doing that to Michael Jai White, though. 6'1", 240. That's a lot bigger than Tony. You can't tell, okay? Right. Well, if you don't care about them details, they don't care about them details. And they gonna keep going and keep going and keep going. Yeah, well, you don't know enough to say nothing, and you ain't finna ask me and mine, hey man, what's going on over here? So you don't know you getting tricked off. Keep spending your money. Archie Lee says, how come there wasn't any jungle action comic figures? No one likes classics anymore. I'm gonna go above and beyond. You not wrong when you say that. I got the Black Panther that came out with the Toy Biz, with the Rocket Raccoon, Build-A-Figure and everything. That's the closest one we got to a jungle action character of any form. Because that would be that T'Challa in the blue suit. But a Key-Bait, not a Key-Bait. You got M'Baku, you got Malice, you got King Cadaver, you would have Horatio Walters Venom, you would have Baron Macabre. Yeah, you'd be able to go off with you some jungle action figures with you. No, I ain't gonna do that. Ain't gonna do that. Shoot, we should have gotten Michael J. White. I'm just saying. Yeah. Oh Lord. Phone buzz again. I'm just saying that was the right height, right. Wait a minute. You know what? That was the right physique for War Machine was Michael J. White. We got Terrence Howard. And I was like this. Okay. All right. He ain't in War Machine shape. Okay. And then we got Don Cheadle. And I like, okay. All right. But, right. That ain't it. So, that is what it is. Listen, I'm out. They dusted half the Avengers and they came back. They did. They did. They did. They did. They did. They did. He would have even made a good Zuri, but we got Forrest Whitaker. And now this is why Harama is saying that. Zuri a big country boy. Wakabi was the book smart one. Zuri was the big country boy. Zuri the big country boy. Well, the fight between Zuri and Eric, that's gonna go a little bit differently than what we got in Black Panther. Because like I said, he a big country boy. Well, we ain't get no big country boy reference and everything like that. So, and if you don't read comics, you don't know that he a big country boy. You don't. You think if you don't read comics, you don't know that he not that old either. Like that Zuri was not that old. he older than Shooty, but he ain't know nothing. He old enough to be Shooty's older brother, not her daddy. So, but hey, you liked it. I love it. I'm out. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate y'all pulling up. At the end of the day, you're a Black Panther fan. Yeah, like I said before. And if folks want to know what I was apologizing for, because I've heard that, I will go ahead and touch on that real quick. I was apologizing because my expectations were too high. Let me say that one more time. I was apologizing because my expectations for the Black Panther fan base was too high. Not because I necessarily did anything wrong to offend anybody. No, if I offended you, it was in me expecting you to care as much and know as much. No, I can't even say know as much. It was unfair for me to expect for you to care as much about this character as you said you did. Because you said you was a Black Panther fan. I thought you was going to move like a Black Panther fan. No, what I should have realized was that you were going to move like an MCU fan. That's not the same thing. And you know the difference between being a fan of something and not being a fan of something because of how you are a fan of something. You don't necessarily care about the specifics of the characters that pop up in the MCU. You just want the MCU to give them to you. And by and large, you're going to quote what the MCU is going to say and or do. You don't really care about them characters like that. You don't. That's okay. But as far as my apology, the video that I did was because my expectations were too high. I thought you were going to do what I did. You did less. You did less. So I don't want you thinking that I was apologizing because I felt like I had done something inherently wrong. No, I was apologizing because I was like, I thought better. I had higher expectations. I wanted for Black people what other people get in regards to Superman, Batman, or Spider-Man. And I realized we're not going to get it because we don't want it. And if you don't want it, you don't deserve it. So you deserve to get what you get from the studio going forward. If Black characters are getting canceled in the MCU, oh well. That's, to me, as far as I'm concerned, that's a product of Black people not owning their Black characters, i.e. you don't own the knowledge. Thus, it's easy for you to get led astray. That's how I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it as you weren't going to get them Black characters where you were supposed to get them anyway. All you was going to get is something that said, here's a Black character. You did that with Riri Williams. You did that with James Rhodes. You did that with Sam Wilson. You did that with T'Challa. You did that with Shorty. You did that with Bill Foster. You did that with Monica Rambeau. You did that with Fastos. You did that with Eric Killmonger. You don't care. You just want to be able to say you got black characters in the MCU. That's fine. That's fine. Well, if that's all you care about, don't get mad when they stop showing them love. They ain't been showing them love anyway. Don't get mad. You contributed to it. You did. You wanted the black character. You wanted the black actor to play the role of the white character. Not ever saying to yourself, why ain't the black actor playing the role of the black character? Because you'll take anything. Looking forward to it. What's going on, Daniel? Appreciate that, Big Dan. Appreciate that. Looking forward to the next discussion, family. B1, yes, sir. He would have even made a great Zooty, but we got part. Yeah, that's how it is. So, I mean, Steezle said something a while ago. You get the representation you settle for. That's exactly what that is. You get the representation you settle for. You either gonna demand you get treated better or you gonna settle for how you get treated. Well, we got Wakanda at the house. And anybody that want to come kick the bobo in Wakanda with the Rock With Me Nation and everything like that, feel free. Feel free. We give you the knowledge you want. We give you the characters you want. We give you the comics you want. We give you the stories you want. We want you, what we say, ain't no fun if the homies can't have none. It ain't no fun just talking about T'Challa to me. No, I want to be able to talk about all things Black Panther related to my tribe. So I'm going to stay with my tribe. I'm going to stay with my tribe. That said, in the meantime, in between time till next time, whether we agree or not, we don't have to. But I cannot, and I might not get there with you, but I cannot wait till a day we realize, well, let me do it like this. As they say in the bloodline, I cannot wait till that day we realize, regardless of where we are in this world, that we are, well, you see the number. You see the number. I ain't saying, I'm just saying. Peace. Shoot 'em, shoot 'em, shoot 'em.